This is David Dienganda here, just after the Gunman Fight Series event. I'm here with the one and the only Marko, following your win on the event. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much, man.
Some of your thoughts on the event and on your performance.
Amazing event, well done, Wesley. And my performance, 10-10, outstanding, and that's 2 months of hard training every single day that led up to this day. You know, we don't do overnight victories here. This is about 1.5 years of pure hard work.
Absolutely, and obviously you spoke about, you know, the hard work that's gone into this fight. Really, what is it that people who've been following you for a while, what is it that what has been some of the struggles or some of the hurdles that you've sort of had to overcome during that preparation for this fight?
You know, boxing's a very mentally draining sport. You're alone. It's not football where you've got a team, and if the team loses, you know, you don't take that shit on the chin, and it's not your fault. It's everyone else's fault. But boxing's a one-man sport. You know, in football, you lose a game and that's it. You know, in boxing, you get knocked out in front of your family, and that's just very hard to overcome sometimes. And the best way I overcome those challenges is I dedicate myself to the sport, and I dedicate myself to this camp to make sure that my losses ain't ever going to happen.
Obviously, you got a lot of love here, you know, for this event. Really, how important have, you know, the support of your friends and your family and your girlfriend has been, you know, for this fight?
Hard, very hard. I'll be honest, very hard. But yeah, I'm just waiting for it, man.
I appreciate that. And obviously, you know, talking about this fight as well, what has been some of the things that you sort of had to anticipate in regards to the opponent that you sort of faced tonight?
Listen, I'm going to be so honest, I've never been so nervous for a fight in my life.
Really? Why?
I'm going to be so nervous. Every time I thought about this fight, before I went to bed, huffing and puffing the whole time. I'm like, I was very nervous, but as soon as I got in there, it's like something switched to me, and I thought, I'm going to show everyone what I'm really about, and I'm a killer, and I proved it today. I think if that went on for if that went 10 or 12 rounds, if we had a 10 or 12 round fight, that guy would have been in hospital. That's facts.
Absolutely. And obviously you talk a bit more about, you know, the event, the fighters, you know, the support of your friends and family, really. But for you personally, like, how much have you sort of grown over that 2-month period ahead of this fight? And what is it you sort of learned about yourself, overcoming the nerves that you sort of had to face in the ring?
I realised that in boxing, just because you're scared or just because you're nervous for a fight, that ain't gonna help you, and that ain't gonna be any good for you either. You've just got to push everything to the side, and you've got to be a man, grab your balls and get in that ring and punch someone's head in. You can't just sit there and be, I'm nervous, because if you're nervous, you're gonna lose the fight. In the sense of you go into that fight terrified, nervous all the time, that's not gonna help you. So you've got to mentally prepare yourself to overcome that challenge and be the bigger man and jump in that ring and beat the shit out of your opponent.
And it's interesting you say that, because, you know, we talk a lot more about men's mental health. We talk a lot more about, you know, what men have to go through, like some of the challenges that we have to face through, really. Do you think like some people can resonate with your story and perhaps understand that it's okay to be nervous, but, you know, there was more...
You're going to be nervous. You're going to be nervous no matter what you do. But there's a thing you've got to do with that nervous feeling, and you've got to turn that into sheer willpower and sheer drive. You've got to use that to your advantage. You've got to be, you know what, I'm nervous, but I'm nervous for a good reason.
Yeah, because you want to do well, right? And you don't want to let people down, I presume, or you don't want to, like, put on a bad performance. But I want to talk a bit more about Gunman as well, the Gunman Championship, the support of Gunman himself. First of all, how important has Gunman been in your boxing career so far?
He's made me into the social media boxing star that I am. Without him, I wouldn't be anything. You know, without your promoter, you're never going to be anything. You can be the best boxer in the world, but if you don't have someone that's promoting you and putting your name out there, you're never going to be nothing. So contact is always going to help me out, and I'm just very, very glad that I've got someone like that in my life and career.
Absolutely. And what has been some of the things that you sort of learned along the way in terms of, like, you know, social media side of things, promoting yourself, putting yourself out there? Yo, Josh,
where you going? Sorry?
What has been some of the things that you sort of learned from Gunman in terms of promoting yourself on social media and sort of putting yourself out there and promoting yourself?
I learned that in this game, It's you versus someone else's dreams, and I'm not letting my dreams get crushed. I'm going to crush someone else's dream, just like I crushed his dream tonight. And it's a one-man sport. You're against everyone, and you're always going to be against everyone. So that's the challenge in boxing. There's no one else here to help you. It's your hands and it's your balls here.
And obviously Gunman Championship as well. How pleased are you to be Gunman sort of champion? And what is the ambitions for you next?
I'm grateful to be a champion because this just, at the end of the day, this is rubber and metal, you know. But to anyone else, you think he's just got a belt, you know, he's a good boxer. But for me, this is 2 months of pure hard work. And I'm grateful to have this because it shows how hard I've worked and what hard work gives you. And yeah. What was the other question?
And what's like your future ambitions really?
Either pro or I'm going to be some fucking big name on Misfits.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And obviously you mentioned Jesus in your bio as well and everything else like that. Is it okay if I talk about that bit? I want to talk a bit more about that. How important has that been in terms of your career as well?
He's everything to me. Jesus is everything to me. He's the only person in this earth, in whatever you want to call it, universe, earth, that reminds me that no matter what I'm going through, he's always going to be there for me. No matter what I do, he's always going to be there for me. And I just think that's such a beautiful thing for a human to experience, that no matter how bad you decide to act, no matter how bad you decide to talk to someone or what you do, he's always going to be there with open arms. And he's just always there for me. And I just really, really appreciate being a Christian in this generation because, you know, not a lot of people stick to their faith, and I'm someone that takes faith very, very, very like strongly.
Would that inspire other people in your position, Christians in that faith,
100%.
to sort of pursue a career in boxing as well?
Yeah.
And lastly, talk to me, you know, any message for your supporters, the people who've come out to support you today?
We've had a lot of people come to watch me today, and I can't say how grateful I really am for you guys that showed up today and showed your support and proved how much I really mean to you guys, because travelling a long way to see someone fight is very important for me, and I really do appreciate you guys, and without you this wouldn't have happened, so thank you very much.